Bullseye's Movies welcomes you to its recap channels. For Montana Jordan, who portrays Georgie, this confrontation with Ruben's perspective is a critical step in his character's growth. Georgie has always been someone who charges forward without looking back. He trusts his instincts implicitly and believes that boldness will always pay off. But that confidence often blinds him to the impact of his decisions on others. Jordan has described Georgie as strong-willed and determined, but also prone to moments where hindsight reveals mistakes he didn't see at the time. Episode 9 forces Georgie to finally confront one of those moments in real time. He can no longer dismiss Ruben's concerns or reframe them as obstacles to overcome. Instead, he has to acknowledge that Ruben's voice matters just as much as his own. By the end of the episode, Georgie reaches a realization that doesn't come easily. Ruben is not subordinate to him. He is an equal. That acknowledgement doesn't magically fix everything, but it marks a turning point. Growth, after all, rarely happens all at once. It begins with recognition. Episode 10 carries that emotional weight forward, shifting the setting from boardroom tension to holiday chaos. Christmas, traditionally a time for warmth and togetherness, becomes the backdrop for unraveling plans and unspoken truths. The episode doesn't aim for sentimentality. Instead, it leans into the messiness that often accompanies family gatherings, especially when relationships are already strained. The creative team made a conscious decision to approach Christmas differently than they had in the past. Having already explored the holiday extensively during The Big Bang Theory, they were wary of retreading familiar ground. Steve Molaro has noted that Christmas episodes can easily become overly sweet or predictable, especially when audiences already know how certain characters, like Sheldon, feel about the holiday. Rather than trying to recreate or outdo earlier Christmas stories, the writers chose a subtler angle. They focused on absence rather than presence, on what happens when traditions shift and expectations go unmet. This approach allows the episode to feel fresh while still resonating emotionally. One of the most telling storylines in episode 10 involves Mary's attempt to reunite her family for Christmas by convincing Georgie and Missy to travel to California to visit Sheldon. Their refusal isn't loud or rebellious. There's no dramatic argument or slammed door. Instead, it's quiet, and that quiet says everything. Georgie's reluctance to make the trip reflects a deeper change that's been unfolding since Sheldon left for college. With Sheldon now nearly 1,600 miles away, Georgie finally has room to breathe. For years, Sheldon's presence dominated the family dynamic, often unintentionally overshadowing everyone else. Now, with that gravitational force removed, Georgie is free to focus on his own life, ambitions, and mistakes. Montana Jordan has described this distance as oddly liberating for Georgie. Without Sheldon constantly commanding attention, Georgie can exist without comparison. He can fail, learn, and grow without feeling like the family's other child. That newfound space makes the idea of traveling across the country, just to step back into an old dynamic, far less appealing. Missy's perspective mirrors this sentiment, though for different reasons. Reagan Reverd has pointed out that Sheldon's absence comes with unexpected benefits for Missy. For the first time, she gets her mother's undivided attention. Moments that once would have been interrupted or redirected toward Sheldon now belong solely to her. That one-on-one time is something Missy never had before, and she values it more than she might openly admit. Of course, there's a trade-off. With Sheldon gone, Missy can't get away with as much mischief. Mary's attention is sharper now, less divided. That makes the invitation to spend Christmas in Miami with the McAllisters especially tempting. It's not just a vacation, it's a chance to reclaim some independence and enjoy space away from parental oversight. Together, Georgie and Missy's choices paint a picture of siblings quietly redefining their relationship with family. Their decisions aren't rooted in anger or resentment, but in self-awareness. They understand what they need, even if they don't articulate it fully. What makes episodes 9 and 10 so effective is their refusal to spell everything out. The emotional beats land because they feel earned, not exaggerated. The conflicts aren't resolved neatly, and the characters don't suddenly become wiser versions of themselves overnight. Instead, they take small, imperfect steps forward. Georgie learns that ambition without empathy can cost him everything he's trying to build. Ruben learns that asserting his needs isn't selfish, it's necessary. Missy and Georgie learn that distance from Sheldon doesn't mean a lack of love. Sometimes, it simply means breathing room. By choosing restraint over spectacle, The series allows these lessons to resonate long after the episodes end. The holiday setting, rather than softening the story, sharpens it. Christmas becomes not a time of perfect harmony, but a mirror reflecting the reality of change. In the end, these episodes aren't just about business conflicts or holiday plans gone wrong. They're about growing up, about recognizing that relationships require balance, that ambition must be tempered with trust, and that family bonds evolve whether we're ready for them to or not. And in that evolution, there is loss, but also relief, clarity, and the possibility of something healthier taking shape.